Hello there! Welcome to my basic guide about water in Dwarf Fortress. In this video, I'm going to go over all the basics that you need to know to get yourself acquainted with water. We're going to go over floodgates, we're going to go over safety precautions, all manner of different things. As a scenario, we're going to take water from this river, we're going to take it downstairs, so it does flow a little bit across the paths here, and then we're going to get rid of it down the earth yet again, because this way you can build up any kind of water system that you want to. So along the way, I'm going to explain also how water works in its basic principles. This is going to be not the last video of its kind, so I'm going to simplify a few mechanics in this video, like water pressure and the like, because I plan to go deeper into that in future videos, but I don't want to overbloat this video. Alright, enough about that. Our plan is to make the water go down safely. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dig ourselves a channel to the spot where we want the water to be. And the very first thing to take note of is leave that one block next to the river open, because or closed, I should rather say, because once that thing here is channeled up, something like that will happen and you have an uncontrollable situation. That's one of the first rules when dealing with water in Dwarf Fortress. Don't lose control of the water. It's really, it's just, only bad things happen when you lose control over water. All right, next step, we're going to take down one of those ramps here, the one where the floodgate is supposed to be standing. You can take that with this icon there. And if you don't see the ramps like I do here, it's that little icon right next to your minimap. I found that super useful. All right, now we dig a down staircase. This is where the water will fall down for us. Staircases work just like a hole when it comes down to water. And now we're going to pretend that the water is here where we want it to. So let's just say that this little thingy here is all we wanted to do with our water. Let's dig it out like that. And then we want to get rid of the water yet again. So technically, normally you would have more of a plan where you want to have that water for many things. So here we could just do many things, but I don't want to overload that video. So water goes in here, and we want to get rid of the water over here. What we do in between that is none of our concerns for that video. So here, this staircase will be the exit. So the next thing we want to do now is we want to have a safety maintenance entrance to this system at all points. So I'm drilling another staircase right next to that. Oh, that's a little bit too close. Got to go one tile further away. Or let's make that 2 tiles, never hurts. And that's going to be our maintenance axis, because these all are going to be waterways. Waterways will be inaccessible eventually, so that's one thing we really want to take care of before it bites us. So we're going to slap in a door here, because doors are waterproof, and that's excellent. Next step, we're going to set on up a floodgate at this spot, and that's going to block off the water when we want to. Next things we do, we put up some lever here. Well, technically you could put the lever wherever you want to. It's just for the sake of demonstration. And the other lever over here. Lever number 1 here will control the floodgate. It will open and close it. And lever number 2 will block and open this door here. Because while doors might be waterproof, you never know when your dwarfs are thinking like it's gonna be a great idea to open the door to this gushing torrent of water. Been there, done that, block those doors, it saves lives. So we link that lever to that door, and we link the lever here to the floodgate as soon as it has been delivered. The next thing we're gonna do here is now we're going to manage the falling water. So here it ain't important because the water is only falling 1 level, but I'm constructing it and I'm explaining it. This is what I call a pressure deregulator or a pressure lowerer. So the thing is, water that falls downstairs exerts pressure. The deeper it falls, the more pressure it exerts. I'm going to explain how pressure works in detail, but in a nutshell, pressure does two things. It does shove people around, and it makes water go really, really high. If the pressure is too high, it can even flood your entire base. Why that? That's because the river we're taking water from is, when it comes down to the game, an endless water source. There is no end to that water. And if we don't take care of that problem, the river will try to fill the entirety of your base because it's an endless water source. So, thing here is that can only happen when there's pressure on the water. Pressure on the water can only be exerted when the water is flowing through its adjacent tiles. Adjacent tiles are here. They're also called orthogonally connected, while diagonal tiles let water through, but they nullify all the pressure. So basically, when the water slams down here, it will be forced through these diagonal slits and lose all the pressure in the process and can be used safely in your fortress. If you skip these little depressurizers, it may be or may not be that your fortress will get flooded. These things are really, really valuable. As a rule of thumb, you need 2 diagonal slits per tile of water intake. So if we had 2 tiles of water intake, we would need to widen that thing to have 4 diagonal slits, roughly. All right, so that's going to get ourselves through that. The only thing, yeah, we got all those things. So the only thing left to do now is to build up the drain. So our drain will go downstairs here. And now, well, we got to work as deep as we want to. We need to. First of all, very important rules for a drain. You cannot build a underground drain on layers that have clay or sand, because neither clay nor sand can be smoothened. If you are on a level that can be smoothened, you're on the right spot, because it's really important, otherwise that trick won't be working. And here we have now breached through that aquifer. I don't care about the aquifer leaking here, because at the end of the day we're building a drain after all, so it's okay. Here I go one level deeper than the aquifer was, and now we're going a tunnel straight to the edge of the map, and that's going to be our drain. What's now really, really important with all the items here in the channel, orbit them. You can, whoopsie, that was wrong. No, the right icon is here to lock. Forbid them, because your dwarves will try to get all the very, very precious things inside your drain channel, and this way you can save them from their untimely demise. So this thing here will be ultimately where the water will leave our map. You should always take into account with the drain has to be in adequate proportions to the water intake again. So if you have 1 tile wide water intake, you need at least 1 tile wide water drainage. It always pays off to build a little bit larger than you actually need. There's never anything wrong with too high capacities. And once we've hit that wall border, we're going to go on over to the next step. And here, this is all looking already pretty dandy. We have that door here secured. We have that thing here secured. So we're basically set for a safe thing here. So let's fast forward that. All right, there we are. So the last tile is noticeable that you still see the wall tile, but there's no chance to carve through it. We now smoothen that tile, because interestingly enough, we can smoothen that tile, and then we carve a gap into that afterwards. And that tile will then be able to exit the water from our map, and that's all it takes. So you can also use this on the neighboring tiles here yet again. Over providing capacities is never a bad thing. As a rule of thumb, 2 exits per field of water intake yet again. And once these things are set up and done, we can actually start the water running. So we're going to finish these. Before we do anything, take care that all the people are out of the danger zone. And here, since that floodgate is now installed, we can also carve open that part here. The floodgate is closed and safe, so we don't need to worry about that. These exits have been carved open, and now we can take that thing into action. There we go. So let's pull the lever. Take care that nobody's downstairs, because they won't be leaving this place alive either way. And let's see. So channels open. As you see here, water gushes down. And here it gets pressure deregularized. By the way, it doesn't matter if this water here falls 1 level, 10 levels, or 100 levels. As soon as you have this, as soon as you force water to flow only over diagonal tiles, it loses its pressure. It's really important. This way you can set up the pressure the way you want to, but more about that in future videos. And here you see water's flowing down the hallway, carrying all those stones with it. Those could be your dwarfs, by the way. And there we go. As soon as it hits here, the exit of the map, you're safe. So the thing here is now, you could now easily just carve another path here. Water always takes the laziest way. So that means the water will always try to fill the most adjacent fields first. So that means we could now carve our way over here and have water for this area here, or do whatever with that. I don't want to go too deeply into that, because future videos will do that for us. So last thing, to show you that everything is all right, we're going to pull that lever, and then we're off for that video. Here we see the most important things. Install your floodgate properly. Put the water into the system only when you have everything set up to shut down the water when you want it. Leave a maintenance shaft open to keep your water system adjustable at all times, because that's really one of the most important things, because you want to be in control of your water. And yeah, take care that nobody is in your water system when it's going to go online. And yeah, that's pretty much it. With this knowledge, you can already get started with all those things. There's a lot of problems still to take account of, but yeah, I hope you found that helpful. In future videos, we're going to install water wheels and all manner of different things, but these were the basics that I wanted to go on over, because I don't want to explain them in every video. So feel free to drop me your comments down below. Feel free to add in some super nice strategies that you like to use. I haven't used too many tools that we have here. There are way many more tools, but I found that these were the most important things to think about when working with water. Feel free to leave a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't done so already. There's daily content coming up from my side, and I'd be delighted to have you. Also, down in the description box is a link to the playlist leading you to various other Dwarf Fortress tutorials, and a big thanks to all the supporters of this channel. I really appreciate if you want to support as well. There's a couple of channels. I can't talk anymore today. There's a couple of links down there. Thanks for watching the ad roll, and see you next time.